I'd spent a decade as a fish killer in the infinite stream system. The system urged me to switch careers and become a heartthrob. Dancing? Not my thing. Singing? Tone deaf. Raising fish? Terrified of them. So, I decided to set up a pancake stall outside a university campus. My pancakes were a hit, with long lines forming daily. Countless incompetent systems and useless hosts came to me for pancakes. Can you help me kill someone? Big shot? Hello. You're skilled. Can you teach me your skills? There were also clear-eyed university students and bored netizens playing on memes. I heard making wishes here is really effective. Please. Pancake God. Bless me so I don't fail my exams. Can eating your pancakes grant telepathy? I ignored them all. I was just a pancake vendor. Folks. The full story is complete, so feel free to read. Gloomy French fry reminds you, the main text begins now. I'm back in the game, aiming to be a heartthrob. Before this, I'd been killing fish in the infinite stream system for 10 years. I'd optimized things, cutting costs and boosting efficiency. I was always the top performer. They said I was an all-around talent, ready to be deployed to various systems. The heartthrob system was dozing during the recruitment fair and mistakenly hired me for the heartthrob role instead of heartthrob exhibition. Thrilled, they offered me a high salary. Seeing my history of bloody achievements, the heartthrob system stammered. All right. I guess so. Their attitude didn't sit well with me. I wanted to be the best at everything, even if it was a completely different field. I believed I could conquer any challenge. I asked the system to show me classic heartthrob cases. Dancing? No good. Singing? Terrible. Acting? Not a chance. Raising fish? Terrified. Idols? Singers? Celebrities? Sea queens, they all felt cliché and lacked positive societal impact. Are there any more advanced examples? The system just shrugged, indicating it had no idea. I squatted by the roadside, brainstorming, when a fragrant aroma suddenly hit me. It sparked a memory of my previous life, selling pancakes outside a university. That auntie was really popular. I also had a knack for cooking, and my specialty was pancakes. So, I decided to become a pancake heartthrob. I set up my pancake stall outside the university. The first day was quiet. The second, silent. The third, I was swatting flies. On the fourth day, a sleepy student, on their way to an 8 a.m. class, stumbled over and bought a pancake. I cooked it perfectly, full of anticipation for their reaction. But they just looked blank, like a ghost, drifting away with the pancake. They took a bite, spat it out, and cursed. Damn these early mornings. Now even the pancakes are attacking me? Students' lives matter. I clenched my jaw, watching their retreating back. They took another bite, still grumbling as they drifted off. Whatever, I thought. Young people nowadays have unstable mental states. Can't blame them for not appreciating my pancakes. The 5th, 6th, and 7th days passed with no business. By the 15th day, the system was secretly filling out re-employment applications. I said nothing, continuing to perfect my pancake technique. On the 30th day, a young man who always hung around Trying to help elderly women cross the street. Came to buy a pancake. Pancake? Pancake? Pancake. I flipped a perfectly shaped pancake. He took a bite and asked, "Ma'am, what do you do for a living?" I pulled out a knife, slapped it onto the pancake, and remained silent. He immediately understood. "Oh. You're a shark killer from Walmart. No wonder the pancake isn't good." "You're right," I said. "I am a shark killer." I pulled out a whetstone and sharpened the knife until it gleamed. But not at Walmart. In the infinite stream system. And the fish I kill aren't ordinary. They have 2 eyes and 2 legs. I admired the blade under the sun. It glinted coldly. Like a killer's eye. "What did you just say?" "I didn't hear you." "About my pancakes?" He swallowed hard, forcing the pancake down. "The pancake is fragrant and delicious. Ma'am, you have excellent skills." It was rare for someone to appreciate my pancake skills. So I gave him 2 more pancakes for free. He ate them happily. Every night. Late. Many small businesses popped up below the dorms. Stinky tofu. Barbecue. Oden. Fried dumplings. Stir-fried noodles. Milk tea, and other pancake stalls. I never competed with them. My pancake stall stayed in its usual spot. The street was deserted, with only the sound of cats and the shadows of trees. No business? No problem. I kept practicing my pancakes. I spread the batter. Picked up an egg. But before I could crack it, I heard a cry for help. "Ma'am, there's a robber. Help. Call the police." A man was sprinting down the street, chased by a knife-wielding assailant. The night was dark, but I immediately recognized the man. I don't usually intervene, but he had complimented my pancakes. As Boye excelled at playing the zither and Joan Ziki at listening. A true connoisseur would die for their appreciator. I, too, would make an exception for someone who appreciated my craft. Great music is silent. Great forms are invisible. A true killer doesn't even need a weapon. For eggs launched simultaneously, striking the assailant's chest, head, and eyes. But there was also the sound of a 5th egg breaking. The assailant took a fatal blow, falling to the ground in agony, rolling and moaning. I continued making pancakes. The man who had been running for his life moments before had regained his energy. He rushed over to me, chattering nonstop. "Sister, you're amazing. How did you do that egg-on-egg move? Can you teach me? I want to be a good Samaritan like you, without risking my life." I said no. But he wouldn't give up. He bought my pancakes every day, breakfast pancakes, lunch pancakes, dinner pancakes. He said he never got tired of them. But his complexion worsened by the day. I was genuinely afraid he'd turn into a pancake himself. It was another beautiful day. And I used my imagination to improve my pancakes. The man came again, asking to be my apprentice. I waved him over, telling him to try my new creation and critique it boldly. No need to be polite. He shrank back a little, cautiously saying, "Perfectly shaped. But the taste isn't quite there." My face grew serious. His breathing hitched. "Big shot. Will I ever get a chance to learn from you again?" he asked, almost crying. I waved my hand. Continued making pancakes. And then gave him 2 secrets. Hide your system. And always act within your means. What system? I don't know what you're talking about. Big shot. The man said. Looking guilty. I said nothing. Making another pancake. Someone like him. Always idle. Curious about everything. And always thinking they have a mission. Was either a walking target for trouble or bound by a system. More importantly, I'd killed countless fish in the infinite stream. And one of them had been bound to this very system. Being a good person increases luck. Everyone bound to this system was, without exception, a do-gooder. Big shot. You must think I'm useless. Right? He said. I'm ugly. Have no special skills. My salary is low. And I don't work hard enough. My family is poor. And I live in fantasies all day. I finally got a cheat code. Thinking I could change my destiny. But I still lose because of my ability to mess everything up. He spoke with increasing despair. Almost slamming his head into a pancake. I finally took pity on him and comforted him. You don't have to look down on yourself so much. While your combat ability might not be great, you definitely have other strengths. He looked at me as if I were a guiding star. Really? Where else am I good? It was truly exasperating. I'd just said it offhand. He pestered me all day, asking where else he was good. I crushed 5 eggs and ruined 6 pancakes. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. If you're really desperate, then do what you did today, use your persistence and be a persistent pest. Pester others into giving you good person cards. That works too. He looked stunned. Your system just wants you to be a good person. But it doesn't specify what kind. How is being good at getting good person cards not being a good person? I was impatient. Big shot. How do you know everything? I also know how to make you die faster. The more you ask, the faster you die. The man dared not ask more and quickly left. And for many days, my pancake stall had no business. Sister, why don't we just stop selling pancakes? The system advised me. I never give up halfway. I didn't even look up. Continuing to make pancakes. The system sighed heavily and wrote another re-employment application. Big shot. 1 pancake? Please. The man was back. This time, his face was beaming. The method you taught me really works. I've received several good person cards these past few days. I even bought a lottery ticket and won several $1,000s. I quickly made him a pancake and pointed to the QR code on the table. $10. Scan it yourself. But bothering people all the time isn't a long-term solution. Big shot. Do you have any other strategies I can learn? The man asked with a grin, pulling out his phone. He really treated me like an NPC. WhatsApp payment received, $1,000. The phone notification sounded. The words I wanted to curse immediately died in my throat. The economy was bad. So I had to swallow my pride. A cat meowed from the bushes behind me. Do you usually feed stray cats? I asked. No. I don't. Does feeding stray cats count as being a good person? He replied. Being good to people makes you a good person. Being good to cats doesn't count as being a good person? What? Do you expect to become a good cat? I casually tossed a hot dog behind me. Also, Remember to get them spayed or neutered after feeding them. The man left, looking skeptical. My stall had no business again. About 10 days later, he returned, looking refreshed. Big shot. Your advice really works. Being good to cats sometimes works better than being good to people. And I even discovered my talent. As he spoke, a cat meowed again from the bushes behind me. This time, before I could throw a hot dog, the man expertly pulled out a handful of cat food from his pocket and sprinkled it on the ground. A calico cat poked its head out of the bushes, sniffed a few times, and started eating. Before it could eat much, the man quickly grabbed it. See? No matter what kind of cat, I catch them every time. Netizens are calling me the neutering king now. The man laughed happily, carefully putting the struggling calico into a cat carrier. It was clear he really enjoyed neutering cats. Big shot. If it weren't for you, I might still be doubting myself, always feeling like I wasn't good enough. The man said, full of gratitude. I hated emotional displays, so I quickly made him a pancake. He took it with a grin, gobbling it down, mumbling, "The shape is as perfect as ever, but the taste isn't quite there." My pancake stall had been getting a lot of business lately. I was constantly cooking from morning till night. But the requests they made were getting stranger. Big shot. Can you help me kill someone? Help me steal some business secrets. Name your price. Want to destroy the world with me? Let's do something big. I'm a law-abiding citizen, not some criminal. For these people, I just reported them to the authorities. I wouldn't even sell them a pancake. Then there were those who came crying. Big shot. I'm bound to a female competition system, but I don't want to compete with other women. Big shot. I'm bound to a tea ceremony system, but I'm a straight man and know nothing about tea. It was truly frustrating. But seeing them cry nonstop, I couldn't help but feel a little pity. Female competition. Huh? As the name suggests, just compete with females. You seem physically fit. You could try sports, like women's wrestling or boxing. With your strength, I believe 3 to 5 years of training should do it. And why are you crying so much? You big adult? If you don't understand the tea ceremony, go learn it. Even a 3-year-old understands that. Learn everything you can, the classic of tea, the record of fragrant tea, everything. My temper was getting worse. But every day, countless incompetent systems and useless hosts still came to me for pancakes and their idiotic questions. The do-gooder who used to buy my pancakes all the time smiled mysteriously at me. Sister Yun, I'll promote you. Will you be satisfied? My teeth started to itch. I knew it. Useless people always flock together. Stick with one, and you get the whole bunch. To avoid answering those weird questions, I put up a small blackboard. On it, I wrote, deaf, mute, and blind. Only makes pancakes. No matter who came, I wouldn't answer any questions. Gradually, my stall became quiet again. The system asked me to check the heartthrob data. Sister, when you were helping people solve problems, the data was steadily rising. There's hope for an excellent performance review at the end of the year. The system suggested. Sister, why don't you re-enter the world again? We don't have to stick to this pancake thing. No. I shook my head. Never forget your original intention. And you will find your ultimate goal. I continued making pancakes. But I erased the chalk writing on the blackboard and wrote anew, Sister Pancake, pancakes that point the way. A passing university student saw the words on the blackboard and, out of curiosity, bought a pancake. $10. Scan the QR code yourself. He took the pancake, quickly glanced around, and then mysteriously whispered to me, Master, do you read palms or faces? Do you need my birth date? The student's eyes sparkled with curiosity and foolishness. It was truly exasperating. But what could I do? The customer was God. No fortune-telling. No superstition. What's your problem? Will I find a partner by the end of the year? Her large eyes sparkled with innocence and foolishness. If I were still at my previous job, someone this foolish would never have appeared before me. Because they wouldn't have survived the first dungeon. I gritted my teeth, enduring to the extreme. Stop with the futile superstition. Do you have any specific, practical questions? The excitement and curiosity on her face vanished, replaced by a blank stare. She stood there, racking her brain. Suddenly, her face contorted into a painful, evasive expression. Master, will I fail calculus again this time? Life is full of dissatisfactions. The probability of you failing calculus is about 8 or 9 out of 10. Even if I can't read fortunes. Based on the aura around you and the self-doubt in your eyes, I'm certain you'll fail. Her face turned ashen, and she hunched over, instantly aging by a decade. It's fine. Haha. It's just failing a class. At worst, I'll just say goodbye to it. I can still. Her laughter was uglier than crying. Young people nowadays have extremely unstable mental states. I was really afraid she might do something rash. I immediately felt a pang of pity. Wait. There might be a solution. Master, do you have any way to help me avert disaster and avoid failing? I smiled and pointed to the small blackboard on the table. There was a tiny line of text, 1 question per pancake. She understood immediately. Then I'll have another pancake. I made her another pancake. And under my gaze, she quickly swallowed it. Her eyes were full of a desire to survive. Master, save me. I'll study with you. Master, you know calculus too? But my exam is the day after tomorrow. It's fine. No rush. Coincidentally, I used to work at a previous company where we had daily exams. And if you failed, you died. I'm best at cramming before exams. I was the top performer for years. The dreaded exam reaper. As I made pancakes, I tutored the university student. She held a pancake in one hand and a textbook in the other. She was like a bird, leaning in to listen intently. Or perhaps a devoted disciple, respectfully silent. However, she was as dull as a donkey. My throat was dry from talking. And she still looked confused. Annoyed. I stopped making pancakes and took down the small advertising blackboard from my stall, repurposing it as a teaching board. Did you understand this step? I think so. That means no. I looked at her bewildered expression, quickly erased the chalk from the blackboard, and explained it again in a different way. Even though it was winter, sweat beaded on the student's forehead, and her face looked like she was about to cry. Master, I really can't learn it. Maybe I shouldn't bother. Don't let me disrupt your business. Are you sure? Before I could finish, I heard urgent voices from around us. Don't stop. I haven't learned it yet. Keep going. Our professor just reads from the textbook. Master explains it so much better. I want to listen more. My exam is the day after tomorrow too. I want to review with you. Even though I don't have an exam. Master's lectures are really entertaining. More please. Unbeknownst to me, a large crowd of university students had gathered around. They were there for knowledge. For survival. Or just for gossip. You can cram for your exams with me. But you can't just listen for free. I quickly wrote a line of chalk on the blackboard. Sister Pancake tutoring class, 1 pancake. 1 question. As a university's exam week raged, my pancake stall was buzzing with activity. Students came to me for pancakes and tutoring from morning to night. Some thoughtful students even created a group chat for me. A university pancake group. First squad. When I woke up, the group already had several messages. Granny Pancake? When are you opening today? Sister Pancake's recommendation. Don't call her Granny. Call her Sister. Sister is the best. No way. We can't do without Auntie. Sister Pancake talks about the photoelectric pancake effect. Sister is from our optical electronics department. Who studies math if they're a proper person? The mother of pancakes. Math is the king of science. Only math can be worthy of you. Sister. Is this pancake tutoring only for us Chinese majors? Or for other departments too? She's probably got hooked by another cute girl again. That's why she's ignoring us. Eat your pancakes. Everyone. Wake up. Don't sleep. Don't fight amongst yourselves. B University is coming to poach. It was only when I saw this message that I noticed another group on my phone, B University Pancake. First Legion. A university's exam week had started. And 3 days later, B University officially welcomed its own exam week. These past few days, scattered B University students had been coming to me for pancakes. Now, they had officially formed an unofficial organization and joined the poaching army. A University and B University, as the 2 top universities in our city, had always been rivals. Soon, both pancake groups were full, spreading into countless more pancake groups. The system exclaimed excitedly, "Sister, your heartthrob index has jumped 10% overnight." I remained calm. This is just the beginning. My tone was steady. But I couldn't help but feel a little happy. However, I didn't expect to encounter a problem on the first day of business. The demand was complex. And the supply was chaotic. A host with a getting slapped earns money system wanted to exchange money for dignity and respect. A host with a white moonlight female supporting character system wanted to exchange 36 strategies of love for career success. And a host with a good mom system wanted to exchange top-tier cooking skills for her daughter's love brain removal surgery. There were also all sorts of strange young people. This one said they could sleep a lot and just wanted to lie flat and win. That one said they didn't want to work hard and just wanted to be a dorm manager. Someone else said they'd exchange anything if their parents stopped setting them up on blind dates. But soon, I had another great idea. I turned my gaze to the heartthrob system, which was cheering me on from the side. System. Perhaps you've heard of managing up? The system sensed danger and tried to slip away. But I held it in place. As your superior, You should manage up to me. Use your maximum personal ability and initiative to help me make decisions and provide relevant cases and data for record keeping. My system operated efficiently, quickly handling the supply and demand matching problem. With this free labor, I could just focus on making pancakes, always lying flat and winning. One day, a special customer appeared at my pancake stall. Head bowed. She told me, "I don't want anything, but I want to donate my life to someone who needs it." No. She can't donate. Someone's video playing loudly happened to say a very fitting line. I asked her why she wanted to donate her life. The girl, who appeared introverted and quiet, blushed and stammered for a long time, unable to explain. "How about this?" I said. "I'll introduce you to a job. You work for a while, and then come back to me to decide whether or not to donate your life." I can't. I can't do anything. I mess everything up. People like me are just in the way everywhere. The girl said, her head bowed even lower, waving her hands nervously. I finished making a pancake and handed it to her. "Don't say you can't yet. Try one last time. If it doesn't work, then give up." The girl finally looked up, her eyes red, gazing at me. After a moment of hesitation, she took my pancake. After she left, the system was incredibly surprised. "How did you suddenly become so kind?" I couldn't be bothered to respond, continuing to make pancakes. "What kind of job are you going to introduce her to? She doesn't seem like she could do well at work." My previous workplace, the infinite stream system. After I said these words, the system gasped. "Sister, you're so cold and heartless. As expected of you." I didn't refute or respond. I just looked at the girl's retreating back. It wasn't coldness or heartlessness. I just saw a past version of myself. Someone must have filmed me making pancakes and posted it online. Facing a young person with a somber expression, I was asked, "Sister Yoon, what do you think is the meaning of life?" I'm so lost. I don't know why I live every day. I can't find the meaning of life. And I, with a cold, unfeeling expression, continued to make pancakes. If you're alive, you can eat pancakes. If you're dead, others will eat at your funeral. This video instantly went viral. Bored netizens made all sorts of remixes of me. They called me Pancake Sister, the life mentor. And those hosts and university students who had eaten my pancakes before rushed to my defense online, fiercely guarding their beloved Sister Pancake. "You don't understand Sister Pancake's greatness. Besides her pancakes not tasting good, she's practically my second mother. Don't say anything. What if Sister Pancake retires?" Under their protection, netizens became even more curious about me. They called me Pancake, a hidden hero, a monk with hair, an Aladdin who made pancakes. They even concocted dramatic backstories for me, a child prodigy who, after seeing through worldly desires, chose to become a nun. And then, unable to bear the suffering of the world, re-entered it to guide people. Countless netizens were not only curious about my past but also desperate to participate in my future. Thus, a new group appeared at my pancake stall, netizens playing on memes and gossiping. They seemed to have nothing to do all day but revel in gossip. "I heard making wishes here is really effective. You can help people fulfill their wishes? I want superpowers. Like mind reading. Hee hee. Sister Pancake? Say your famous quote again. If you're alive, you can eat pancakes. If you're dead, others will eat at your funeral. I was endlessly annoyed by this. I just wanted to make pancakes. Numerous times. I wished I could throw the pancake in my hand at the phones they held up to me. But the system desperately begged in my ear. Sister Yoon, your heartthrob index has exploded after all this internet buzz. A moment's patience can save you from a great deal of trouble. Please. Just bear with it. We'll be able to retire early soon. I endured and endured, my patience wearing thin. Finally, when I witnessed a netizen cut in line with their phone out, pushing a young girl to the ground, I couldn't take it anymore. They were still shouting, "I'm filming. Why isn't this little girl paying attention?" I flipped the freshly made pancake and slapped it onto their face. Playing on memes is fine here, but doing evil is not. Mommy. The internet celebrity hit me. They raised their phone, aiming it at me, then at themselves. Their voice was exaggerated, their face full of petty triumph. They seemed to assume I wouldn't dare to act in front of the camera, treating their phone as a shield and filming as their protective charm. But I didn't care about public opinion. Nor was I afraid of cyberbullying. I casually picked up a stone from the ground and threw it at them. The stone whizzed through the air, almost grazing their face, missing by just 0.01 inches. They instantly sobered up, no longer daring to film me. "Weren't you in such a hurry to cut in line for my pancake just now?" I asked. "I gave you the pancake. Why didn't you catch it properly?" I hate it when people waste food in front of me. I looked coldly at the pancake on the ground. The man looked like he was about to cry, humiliatingly picking up the dropped pancake and eating it bite by bite. Good. Cherishing food is a good habit, I said, nodding, indicating I was barely satisfied. The next day, the video of me confronting the man went viral again. Some said I was unreasonable. Some said it was satisfying. And some said I was righteous but intimidating. But these rumors had nothing to do with me. Because after a disguise, I changed locations and continued making pancakes. Now, I no longer looked like the 30 or 40-year-old Sister Pancake, but a 50 or 60-year-old Grandma Pancake. The system was still chattering in my ear. "Sister, after your video of teaching that man a lesson went viral yesterday, another huge group of people became fascinated with you. We've officially taken another big step towards retirement." "Oh. Congratulations," I said, continuing to make pancakes, as if none of it concerned me. "Sister, why don't you look very happy?" "Should I be happy?" I asked, confused. Still making pancakes. Ever since a long time ago. No matter how good my achievements were. No matter how many times I took first place. My heart remained neither sad nor happy. The people in the infinite stream system used to say I was like a shark machine. Just as I was about to make a perfect pancake, my phone suddenly rang, startling me and making my hand tremble, ruining the shape. "Sister Yoon. Help." It was the do-gooder on the other end, sounding desperate. I smiled apologetically at the customer waiting for a pancake, then threatened into the phone. "If it's not a matter of life and death, I'll take your dog's life first. Sister Yoon. Please save them." After his explanation, I understood the whole story. While catching stray cats for neutering, He accidentally discovered a man abusing cats. After investigating and tracking him, he found out the man also filmed cat abuse videos and posted them online. Seemingly part of a planned, organized cat abuse group. I just rescued a cat from him. But he said there are so many trash cans in the neighborhood. And so many cats near each one. Can you really manage them all? I'm useless. But Sister Pancake, you can save them. He was practically crying on the phone. Just then, a kitten meowed from the bushes behind me. The hot dog I had casually thrown earlier had attracted not just one cat, but also its companions. They ate a bite and lost all wariness of humans. I sighed and told him, "Let's go." I took off my cumbersome wig and disguise coat. The customer buying pancakes immediately gaped, eyes wide. "I'll make your pancake next time." With that, I hopped on my electric scooter and sped off. Half an hour later, I arrived at the neighborhood the do-gooder told me about. From a distance, I saw the man squatting by a trash can. The 6-foot-tall man looked very pitiful squatting on the ground. "Where are the cats?" I walked directly up to him. "You are?" the man asked, confused. "Your Sister Pancake?" I said, faced with his disbelief and shock. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Isn't it just changing my disguise and looking younger? Is that really so surprising? In the infinite stream system, I even unlocked the 1,000 Faces achievement. Don't waste time. Lead the way. I gave the command. The man quickly and respectfully led me further into the neighborhood. From a distance, I heard several extremely shrill screams that made my heart ache. I frowned, cursed under my breath, and then threw my phone to the do-gooder behind me. "Hold my phone. No matter what happens. Film it. You little beast. You dared to bite me." The demon had his back to us, a lighter in one hand and a newborn kitten dangling in the other. What he intended to do was obvious. There were also several older cats on the ground, looking miserable. I don't like violence. But unfortunately, some people only learn through fists. I clenched my fist, cracking my knuckles one by one. Trash. Scumbag. Demon. He heard the sound and tried to turn around but was kicked to the ground by me. The streetlights shone starkly on the demon's pale face on the ground. It turned out to be an acquaintance. This was the man who had bought my pancakes a few days ago and had been on the trending list with me. The one who cut in line and ate the pancake off the ground. "I heard you're an internet celebrity. Desperately chasing fame. No bottom line means you don't deserve to be human. Calling you trash dirties the trash." I kicked over the trash can and then stepped on his face, thoroughly mixing him with the surrounding garbage. Abusing small animals makes you happy. Bullying the weak makes you proud. How does it feel to have your life squeezed? Unable to resist at all? I heard you said that abusing cats isn't illegal. And doing it a few more times doesn't matter. Coincidentally, if your animal abuse isn't illegal, then my abusing an underage person shouldn't matter much either. Seeing the demon's fearful, angry, and humiliated expression, I let out a hearty laugh. Perhaps at that moment, in his eyes, I was more of a demon. After giving the man a small lesson that day, I directly picked the lock and entered his house. As I expected, the pervert had several cages in his house, each containing a severely injured cat. But what surprised me was that he also had a daughter locked in a cage. The 7 or 8-year-old child was as thin as a sick kitten, covered in wounds. I couldn't help but think of some of the dehumanized scumbags in the infinite stream system. If violence and abuse aren't stopped, they easily spread and escalate. I wondered how much suffering his daughter had endured. I sighed, squatting in front of the little girl. She looked terrified. I wanted to take a candy from my pocket to coax her, but I only pulled out a hot dog. I dangled it in front of her and said, "Kid, your dad isn't a good person. Do you want to come with me?" The little girl's eyes widened. She shook her head, then nodded, and painstakingly managed to utter a single syllable, "Go." I lifted her collar and saw several shocking wounds. I couldn't help but curse, instantly regretting going easy on him earlier. Before the little girl left the demon's den, I did one more thing. I opened the man's computer, logged into his social media account, and posted the video of me teaching him a lesson, with the caption, "Fists are not for bullying the weak, but for protecting them." The internet cannot erase all your traces. No matter how deep you hide, someone will be watching you. After leaving the man's house, I took the child to the police station. First, I reported the man for child abuse. The investigating officer had just praised me for my heroic act when I turned myself in. "I hit the man," I said. "Fighting violence with violence is also an evil act. The law doesn't allow it. And I should also face legal consequences." The officer said, "Then why did you do it if you knew?" I don't know whether to call you confused or clear-headed. I was, of course, clear-headed. I had the most experience in knowing where to hit a person for it to be painful but not fatal. Even if the man was beaten black and blue, covered in bruises, it would only be a minor injury. And I was still a few weeks shy of 16 years old. So I would only be responsible for financial compensation. This was all thanks to the Heartthrob System's original career plan. Careers like singers, idols, and actors needed to start young. As for the man, after his injuries healed, he would still face legal responsibility for child abuse. Once that matter was resolved, I started my stall again. Of course, I still used the face of a 30 or 40-year-old. Otherwise, looking too young would make customers lose confidence. "Sister, everyone online is discussing the video you posted that day. Your heartthrob index has soared again. Many netizens say the outcome was incredibly satisfying. Recently, our pancake shop No. 8 has been very successful in connecting supply and demand, receiving widespread praise. Even those young people who only wanted to lie flat have achieved self-worth through various transactions. Oh, and that child is adapting very well to her new family." As I listened to the system's morning report, I greeted a quiet-looking girl waiting in line for a pancake. "One pancake, please." I looked up, and she seemed familiar. It was the girl who had wanted to donate her life before. And I had recently heard that she was now one of the most rapidly developing newcomers in my previous workplace. Breaking the old to build the new. Congratulations, Sister Pancake. Thank you. Thank yourself. After all, I just handed you a pancake. I made another pancake and handed it to her. Her eyes sparkled with tears, and she smiled as she swallowed the pancake. After she left, the system couldn't help but marvel in my ear. She's changed so much. And is she really that incredibly talented newcomer in the infinite stream system recently? You can't tell at all. Also, What were you thinking when you introduced her to your previous workplace? I thought you actually wanted her dead. To the system's incessant chatter, I only replied to its last question. She's very suited for that line of work. Someone who isn't even afraid of death. What else do you think they'd be afraid of? Besides life and death, nothing else truly matters. Once she overcomes this hurdle, she'll naturally be unstoppable. Saying that suddenly reminded me of my past self. Back when I was struggling to survive. Someone also handed me a pancake. One day, the system suddenly asked me, "Host, you've accumulated enough heartthrob points. Do you want to leave this world?" It turned out that by selling pancakes, I had unconsciously become a heartthrob in the eyes of others. Not yet. If you want to leave, you can go first. The system was silent for a moment, seemingly making a decision. It said, "No. This world is quite interesting. I haven't managed up enough yet. Once I gain a few more years of experience, I want to break away and create a new system." What you said before was right, the heartthrob system was too limited. Idols, singers, celebrities, sea queens, they're all too cliché and don't have much positive societal impact. And now I understand what you meant by more advanced deeds. I didn't remember what I said back then. It was probably just for the sake of rhyming. As for not doing those professions, it was simply because I couldn't. Not because they lacked positive impact. Unfortunately, the system still didn't understand. No matter what we do, it has a positive impact. Even making pancakes can make you a heartthrob. Host, do you know your pancakes taste bad? The system suddenly asked me. A question with no survival instinct. I remained silent. Then continued making pancakes. To say I completely didn't know was impossible. Just this morning, a confused young person, uncertain about their future, ate my pancake and suddenly had an epiphany. Saying, "I get it. Master. You're teaching me that if you endure bitterness, you will rise above others. Then what do I rely on? Love and charisma. Of course. Good night."